This is the kind of idiocracy, the absolute reprogramming of the human mind that flies in the face of all logic and God. What are they saying here in reality? What are they really saying? Because abortion, what abortion is literally and technically and factually correct to say that it is killing a human being. That is a fact. That is a statement. You can argue all day you want, but a fetus, they just invented those words to dehumanize human beings, is a human being. An infant, a child, a baby, there are other words we use. And all of a sudden, right after the cord is cut, we use new words. That's kind of weird. But nothing really changes. There's hardly a difference in that 1 second the cord is cut. It's already outside. You know, this is fucking ridiculous. This word just means killing. That is a fact. Killing of a specific human beings. Okay, ASMR, darling, could you stop burping? Okay, so they're saying killing is a healthcare. Killing is a right. That is what they're literally saying. This is what the ACLU supports. Murder. That is a fact. That is a fucking objective fact. If you support the ACLU, you support murder. That makes you fine with genocide. Because technically, if we're talking about a generation that was killed or murdered, that's kind of the genocide of an entire generation in it. 60 million human beings murdered. All in the name of progress. So what we're going to do with this video today is we are going to fact check the fact checkers. What we are going to do is we're going to find probably just a few examples of all in the name of progress. Okay, so here we go. Here's a good one. What is this actually saying? This right here is technically just you think your words can be bigger and more bold than my words? Think again, son. Yeah. Just duplicate the fucking layer. You know, a lot of people don't think I have the capability of doing this, but you know, I'll let them go ahead and we need to anchor that. Give them the false belief for a second. Let them have that belief that I. Would you stop unselecting my selection? I don't have the capability of doing this, but I'm gonna prove them wrong. We're gonna do this. Okay. Maybe the naysayers are right. I'm incapable of doing the simplest change. It should stay. If I hit enter, it will stay. When I switch, this is a. Oh, we're doing A. That's why. That's the wrong kind of box we were making. Okay, so it keeps. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, now. All right, now we're getting. This is where the things get kind of special. Just anchor down. Okay. Okay. Do we still have that box? Okay. So this is such a big difference. We're gonna fix this all good. Right? You can tell it's there. Right? Okay. So this we go color, and we can just do like this. No, this. Boom. Right? Maybe boom. Boom. I just wanted them to have a gray back. That's it. That's what I wanted to do. But we're gonna actually go a little bit further into color. This is what they're saying when they say that abortion is healthcare. When they say it's a human right. What I get from the left and even the right is that people believe, they honestly believe that they're better than their ancestors. Like you honestly believe that you're better than your ancestors. Well, let me tell you something. When you learn history, you find out some sad truths about not flatten the image, about the past, and the realities of how bad it was in the past. You know, they would murder and rape and attack foreign groups of people and do all sorts of nasty stuff to each other. But you know what's the one thing the ancients wouldn't do? The one thing that made them different in the sense that they the one thing they wouldn't do is murder their own fucking children. Most of the time, they didn't do that. So when you think you're high and mighty and you're more progressive, you're more righteous, you're a better person than your ancestors or somebody else's ancestors, check reality and get back to history, because you'll realize if you look at history and what you're currently doing, no, actually, you're part of the worst generation of human beings that have ever existed. As far as we can determine from an immense array of history. 10,000 years. You're the worst human being in 10,000 years. If you support murdering people just because you don't really feel like, you don't really feel like taking responsibility for your actions. Yeah, it's okay. We'll just kill a few million, 60 to 100 million, 200 million. I mean, when you add it all up, the progressive policies of the left are responsible for over 280 million murders in just one century. That was the last century. All in the name of progress. Wake the fuck up. Okay. Take the green pill. Take the green pill. I don't know what the other thing I was going to do was. I wanted to edit another meme. Here we go. This is gonna be great. The fuck? Look at this. What the fuck is this supposed to even mean? You know, the complete irony of this. I mean, I don't know if it's just me. If it's just me who can see through the lies, but it's like the biggest racket in the world right now. The biggest fucking racket. It is the ultimate scam. It is the scam where you tell people that they themselves are a cancer and should die, and they don't have kids. So they pay you money to keep telling them that you're a cancer and that you should die. Meanwhile, parts of Africa are turning into lush gardens instead of deserts. Nobody predicted that, except for God. No. I want a picture of. Here we go. Climate change. This might work. We'll do this. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. That's not what we wanted. It's just. Wait a bit here. NASA, climate change, not a science administration. There you go. We don't want to look at lizards right now. Boy, she's gotta put a new skin on or something, cause that lizard tongue's showing. What we were trying to do, okay, here, the ultimate green pill here we can just find it in Canva is climate change. Okay, so these are just gonna be dumb pictures. That, by the way, is a coal plant. Coal produces carbon dioxide, a little bit of metals and minerals that aren't the best thing to breathe in, but at a very, very low amount. Doesn't cause such a big problem. And there's one other thing that they produce. I forget which it is. But nuclear power only produces water vapor and CO2, I believe. Which is, this is what happens when you get too much CO2 in your world. Boy, man, it's not like you could use CO2 to put that out or anything like that. No. This is one of those things. Stupid people. There are so many fucking stupid people on this planet. It is so fucking insane how people who I thought were smart have fallen for the fucking biggest, simplest fucking scams that have ever existed. It's the age-old story. You know, there's a guy on top of a mountain, right? He comes down the mountain to the village and he says, the gods are coming! They're gonna come down from the mountain! They're gonna come down fire and brimstone! They're gonna come down and erupt from the mountain and kill us all! They said, whoa, hold on now, man. We know about the gods. We know that they do this occasionally, but are you sure? I'm sure! They're gonna kill us all! There's only one way we can save us! You're new to our village, man. We gotta build some trust. No! You must give me all your stock, all your valuables, so that I can stop it. I know how. I will go to the city. I will go to the big city nearby, over there, 200 miles away. I will buy the greatest calf or baby goat, whatever the fucking animal, slaughter it to the gods to save everyone in the village from the gods coming down like a volcano, you know. So they don't have any money, so you know they don't have any Sargon coins or whatever the fuck they had back in the ancient, you know, Sumer. So they just load up a cart and they do all the work for him, and he gets to ride on the cart, and then the cart has wheat and some sort of animal like dumb cow or something, and then they go to the city, right? He's like, okay, now the goat seller, the premium goat seller, he's a schizophrenic, huh? Well, he only deals with one customer at a time. Okay, all right. And then they sell all the goods that they brought, and they turn it into gold coins, and he takes it by himself to the goat seller. But he stops along the way at his own personal banker and deposits 99% of all the coins, basically all the coins but 3, in his own personal bank. And so now he's got 3 gold coins. And he takes those 3 gold coins, he passes by a beggar, snobs the beggar, and walks on. And then he goes to this one place called the shittiest place to find goats ever, and buys the shittiest, lousiest, scummiest, skinniest, scrawniest, just about to die fucking shit of a goat that has ever existed. With one gold coin, he has 2 left, and he walks by the beggar and kicks him in the face. And then he walks right up to his banker, and he buys himself a sandwich and flips the last coin to his own baker as a tip. Then he goes and he says, "Oh boy, it cost me all the gold coin to buy the goat." I hope people follow me into this. If you can't follow this, no shit, you fall for the scam. And yeah, like, no duh. If you can't follow this story, I can see how you can fall into this scam. This scam has been repeated, by the way, many times in many different ways. So he goes. This is a parable. He goes and he says, "Okay, so let's bring this goat and let's go sacrifice it for the gods." And they go back empty on the cart, just him and the goat, and then pulling the cart like bitches. They're his bitches. Those townspeople, and the goat dies along the way, and they get there, and they put the goat. He puts the goat on a rock and pulls out this vicious knife and cuts open the goat's stomach and pulls out its guts and entrails and offers it up to the gods. He says, "Gods don't come. Gods don't kill us. Gods don't save this town. Save this village." And guess what? The gods don't come. Boy. What a story. He revisits that village over and over again, now and then. Like every 2 years, he repeats the same thing and does the same thing. Right? Gets the money, saves the village from the gods. And then he passes it on to his son and his son's son. And finally, something happens in the village. Some people start growing a few extra brain cells, I guess. And ultimately, they kill his son's son and his entire family in revenge for duping them. It sounded more epic the other times I've told this story, and I've told it many times. And the moral of the story is eventually people start waking up to the scam. And if you get away with it for a few decades and make it out like a bandit, woo-hoo-hoo, eventually the townspeople are going to wake up. And you can't make it out like a bandit in hell. I guess that's the moral of the story. What does it even mean? Okay, so this is just kind of a cool picture, I guess. It's just like, what does climate mean? What does it even mean? It's the same thing with global warming. They just change they always change the words, thinking that they're dumb enough to fall for it a second time. Globe, warm. Okay, so the globe just means the planet, and warming just means increase in temperature. Yes, absolutely, that happens all the fucking time, all over the planet. It increases and decreases. How is that? What are you doing? You're trying to monetize that somehow? So they change it to climate change. Well, what is climate? Climate literally means temperature and weather. Okay, so you you're once again generalizing the entire planet with temperature and weather, and you're saying it's changing. Yes, of course it's changing. The temperatures and the weathers are always changing everywhere, constantly. And even Wikipedia agrees some of it's from a long time ago and some of it's from man-made. Okay, well, how much of it's from man-made? Well, according to the alarmists' own data, human beings have contributed a massive, gigantic increase of carbon dioxide all by themselves of 0.003% density. The human impact. Mind you, we're coming out of an ice age 10,000 years ago, 13,000 years ago, somewhere around there. I'm not sure of the exact time. I'm not a fucking geologist. I refer to the geologists. Most of them aren't, by the way, fear scam peddlers. And in the Ice Age, right around that time where they called it the Dark Ages, right? So, yeah, it's gonna get warmer and then it's gonna get cooler. You guys really think that your fucking farting cows are gonna stop the next fucking Ice Age? You're stupid. You're just stupid. You're just fucking stupid. I'm done playing this game like, oh, there's two sides to everything and you can learn something from everybody. No, you can't learn something from everyone. Some people are just objectively stupid. Why did they fall for this scam? Because they're stupid. You're gullible. You're stupid. Enough said. Like, not everybody falls for this scam. It's called wisdom. Okay? I'm not a smart guy. I've never been a smart guy. And I have some addictions, for sure. But the one thing I've always been is fucking wiser than the average dude. The simple wisdom of understanding what a scam is and how to spot a scam. Give me all your money or you're gonna die. I mean, that's not a scam. That's just fucking boogery, isn't it? That's literally what these fucking climate, whatever you want to call them, peddlers of the $20 trillion environment fear scam industry. It's more than that now. It's like, $20 trillion. And here's another word. I asked one libtard. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't really know if he was a libtard, but he was clearly a nincompoop. I asked one random person, what is environment? Could you explain that to me? And he's like, basically, environment's like, well, it's like the outside and the inside, and basically everywhere on Earth is like the environment. So you're just talking about the whole fucking goddamn planet then. The environment is the whole fucking... So you're generalizing the whole goddamn entire fucking planet and saying, this applies to the whole entire planet. We can predict the weather of the planet, the entire planet's temperature and climate have been also drastically changed by human beings by 0.003%. Like, I'm calling bull on that one. I mean, for fuck's sake, you don't have to be a moron to fall for a scam, but you have to be one of the greatest morons on planet Earth to fall for a scam that fucking obvious. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to do the science. Right? I'll let the scientists do the scientists. Well, the scientists aren't even saying that there's a climate catastrophe. A few of them, sure. And it's strange when you track back their bank account transactions, how close they get to certain billionaires and giving them funding, and how close they are to politics themselves, because it tends to correlate very strongly in that order. But this is what it is. It's a $20 trillion, more than $20 trillion. You see, $20 trillion spent in like 10 years, but for the whole world. But That's not how much they make out like a bandit with. You see, they get you to pay them $20 trillion, the people of Earth, and then these people running the racket get a profit of like maybe 7 to 80 trillion from that. You know, I'm not sure the exact numbers, so it's a bit arbitrary, a bit not very exact. But let's just say they get 7 point something trillion profit off of only 10 years from your 20 trillion. Did you know you don't get any of your 20 trillion back? So basically, you're giving with taxes and everything else that they do. Some people get a job out of it, sure, while they take away other people's jobs. You know, this is China, by the way. China still gets to do their thing. They have what you call dirty coal, and there's no sanctions for them. There's no fucking bullshit. Paris full fucking bullshit. Fuck France. You gave us postmodernism and you gave us the Paris Climate Accords. Fuck you, France. About time you wake the fuck up. That's China. They get to do that. America owns clean coal. What's clean coal? Well, it's basically carbon dioxide and it's three things. Clean coal. See, this is the problem. Clean coal. This is the problem. You can't just go to Wikipedia anymore because Wikipedia is compromised, completely untrustable at this point. You know, fucking Webster's untrustable, completely fucking untrustable. Like the History Channel is just fucking most of the time. I mean, you don't know if you're going to get actual history or you're going to get fucking Marxist propaganda at this point. So what you have to do is look at a bunch of different sources, not Wired.com, nothing that's familiar that you've heard of before. There's no such thing as clean coal. What they mean by that is there's a little bit of minerals that are ejected from the fumes. But who do I trust then? I mean, I always forgot one of the things. The myth of clean coal might finally die. Not on your lying watch, MSN. Literally their name is MSN.com, Mainstream Network. Yeah, most of it's going to be propaganda from the federal media establishment. Well, the idea of clean coal and the factuality of clean coal is better than the dirty coal. It's not perfect or ideal, but it is better. Nuclear, on the other hand, only emits water vapor and carbon dioxide. And everybody's already upset because of the carbon dioxide. But think about this for a second. We now know that even though carbon dioxide stays around on Earth for a while, there's not a lot of evidence to suggest it's a major greenhouse gas. But you know what? There is a lot of evidence to suggest it's a major greenhouse gas. Water vapor, you dumb fuck. Water is a greenhouse gas. Let's tax water. Let's stop drinking water. Let's just drain the whole ocean and throw it into space. Water's literally burning the planet down. Now do you get it, you fucktard? Fucking morons. And the reality is, greenhouse gases are good. They've always been good. They were good for the dinosaurs. They were good for the fucking giant fucking insects that lived back then. Greenhouse gases are the only fucking thing that are holding the entire atmosphere from freaking escaping into space, and that's what it's doing. You ever wondered about Mars, you ever wonder about its atmosphere? Ever wonder what happened to it? Mars' atmosphere. Mars supposedly had an atmosphere. Now it doesn't. I wonder what could possibly bridge the gap in between. Well, it turns out atmosphere just escapes into space naturally. It just floats off. But the one thing we are actually aware of, collectively, in all of science, that can keep, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but that can keep the atmosphere from leaving is greenhouse gases. Okay? So with greenhouse gases, you have more warmth and more life. Without greenhouse gases, you have more cold or less life. So the only thing I can assume, because I have to assume, because I can't read their minds, that these $20 trillion environment fear scam peddlers, either they want to depopulate the entire planet of life to some degree or other, okay, or they are just trying to make a fucking quick buck. You could think it's either one. It's not likely to be anything else that I can think of. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but most of them are making out like a bandit. So I mean, the second one makes more sense. You know, or maybe they just hate life. And they're constantly told in the back of their ear to kill, kill, kill. I mean, that's the reality. It's all upside down. They've convinced like millions of people that the own carbon inside their body is literally burning the planet down. Like, you can't get stupider than that. You just can't. I'm not intelligent, guys. I'm just average. The one thing I have that apparently no one else has on this whole entire goddamn planet. Sorry God, sorry God, sorry God, sorry God, sorry God. Okay, are we good now? Don't do it on purpose. Is that little bit of wisdom to see a scam when it's right in fucking front of your face? But no, it's just like, well, I'll just defer to the scientists. No, you're not. You're just deferring to the 2% of scientists that are politically paid. I mean, like, be real with yourselves. I mean, I know guys who are like, well, I see all sides, and I'm not just fed this one thing from the algorithm. It can be hard to get away from the algorithm feeding you the exact same thing every single time. Yeah, I keep trying to bust out of my own algorithmic bubble. The only problem is every time I go to, quote, the other side, I'm met by morons. That's a big problem for me, because I can see through their moronicness and be all like, you just dumb fuck. You just dumb, son. I'm not smart, but you just fucking dumb. Like, quote, the other side is just educated to be objectively stupid. That's how you control people. You make them stupid. You make them dumber than a fucking bag of fucking shit balls from a fucking camel. And then, boom. Boom. That's it. Wow. Just real smart. Real smart, y'all. You fell for the oldest fucking trick in the book. $20 trillion environment fair scam industry. It's a lot of words. It's easy just to call it a scam, because that's what it fucking is. Well, we're going to change this effects to be shadow, and I hate shadow because there's so many things that you got to fill out for shadow. You got to fill out the blur, the, okay? But then the shadow itself is just going to be blood. Just blood red. Blood. Just fuck you, fuck me, whatever. Just blood red. And we'll make this green. So that people look at it at a glance and think, oh, beautiful green, right? And then they read $20 trillion US environment fear scam industry. Oh. What the fuck does that even mean? Oh, here we go. This is what we're going to do. We're going to make it very clear for the people who have the mental disorder known as progress. Okay, so the way that this works is we're going to do lift 18. We're going to change the this to be white, white, perfection, progress, send it back, and then boom, climate change equals $20 trillion environment, fear, scam industry. It's more by now, I mean. Also, Fed, Deep State, what the fuck are you doing with the aliens? Are you literally bribing out whole entire fucking galaxies? Or so, like the Emperor of Circlocker in the Sumurter galaxy, in the cluster in the system himself. Are you literally giving him trillions of dollars every fucking year? Because we're missing. The United States federal government is missing. Also, another $22 trillion from defense funds. Where's the spaceships? $22 trillion. Where's the Stargate program? Show me the gosh darn Stargate program. You should have a Stargate program by now. $22 trillion Stargate program. If you can't build a Stargate program with $22 trillion, I'm gonna slap all you motherfuckers in the face. If you don't have a Stargate program up and running right now, where's the trillionaires who made out like a bandit with that one? $22 fucking trillion from the defense budget over the past 20 years is just missing. That's American taxpayers' money. That's money that doesn't exist. That's devaluing the dollar and coming out of your kids' bank accounts. It's coming out of everyone's value accounts. It's like some people don't know how money works. Yeah, so I'm waiting for the invitation to see SGC, the real one, not the remake. Brad Wright was totally not those guys were totally on top of the. They were working with the fucking Air Force, and they made an episode where they. Oh man, stupid people would totally miss this too. They made an episode where there was Stargate. There was a guy who was doing a Stargate ripoff in the Stargate lore. So the Stargate universe, in the universe in which Stargate exists, and it's not just a TV show, right? There was a TV show that was very similar to Stargate that was coming because the guy had memories, and he didn't know that they were real in that universe, right? So he made a Stargate, the TV show in the Stargate universe, essentially. And I always saw that as what it was a gentle nod from the writer. Well, if this, in this fictional universe, can be a TV show based on a real actual thing, and the United States federal government says, well, we'll just use it as cover. One episode failed series, we'll just use it as cover in case anyone ever gets to hear about this Stargate program. What if Stargate, the TV show in this universe could be a cover for you see, you got me thinking about that. That's what they wanted you to do, to think about it that way. But then, a few years later, there's disclosed that there was a Star Spacegate operation. That is the CIA or the Deep, whatever. Not dealing with the same kind of stuff. It was like with psychicness, not necessarily space travel, but a real no, Stargate, I don't know what it is. Project Stargate and the CIA remote viewing. So it was a remote viewing experiments, trying to get people to see things far away without the eye line, without being able to trace the the light hitting their eyeballs. Like telepathic viewing, essentially what it was. But that's what Stargate was. But it was two separate words. The people putting it together because maybe it was together sometimes. So what's this novel that's Stargate? I thought it was just the movie that was stolen from a guy and then he filed a lawsuit, and then because the copyright changed at the time, he was only able to make a few $1,000 from it, settled out of court, and lost his entire IP that was turned into the Stargate movie, and then taken to the TV show, which I think the guys on that have made the whole new thing way better than the movie. I liked it so much. What? So is this not even related? Oh. This sounds exactly like. I mean, this sounds so much like Stargate. So did the guy who had the original idea for the movie, did he get it from this book and then they stole it from him to make the movie? It's crazy. I don't know. A lot of similar ideas in science fiction, but still. Stargate. I mean, this just sounds like the plot of Stargate. Long ago, people came from beyond the sky and landed on Gorth. They raised human natives out of the wild state and led them into developing civilizations like medieval Europe. Then they went away, leaving behind few of their numbers, memories, and small population crossbreeds. Okay, a little bit different, but interesting, right? Well, I mean, I'm not saying that Stargate SG-1 was cover for the Stargate program, but they definitely did that nod in that episode, and that's what I'm referring to. It's just, it's cute, but also what if, you know? It's a cool kind of thing to think about. But, dude, before they used CGI, they used to create this effect with actually filming water at different angles. And then they superimposed it, onto the, the game? I played this game. Dude, they were trying to create a fucking MMO. And they had, like, the budget and the people for, like, a horrible RTS or a horrible like squad shooter. So that's what it ended up being. It ended up being a team versus shooter. Just a horrible game. Just a horrible like whoever was in charge of that. I'm not trying to make people dunk on people. I'm just saying you gotta have a huge grand budget for an MMO. You have to have for a big game like that. Stargate Worlds was going to be called something like that, but they changed it to Stargate Resistance because they could really only create something with two. And this was back then when those models weren't that great looking either. Back then, I think all about they created was one planet and Stargate Command. But if you have the funding, you could create a really. But I mean, look, Amazon can't even create a halfway decent MMO with all their funding. There's a lot more to it than just money, guys. Stargate Origins. No. Oh, Crystal Skull. I don't remember there being. I don't know if I remember there being Crystal Skulls. Mind you, it has been a while. And that other thing. Okay, we got a little bit sidetracked, but that's basically what we were saying. And before we lose all of the data, let's save this.